Okay, so now that you got your first message locked and loaded, it's time to start blasting. Do a search and a preliminary screen of your matches as I described earlier, and you should now have a shit ton of tabs open across the top of your browser with the girls, users that you want to message. So the very mechanical act of sending messages to all these people is going to take a fair amount of time. I certainly cannot imagine typing this shit out to every single person. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay? Even with the technological wizardry that is copy paste, it's still going to be a huge pain in the ass to work this kind of volume. I remember back in the day when I started, I would literally just sit there and manually click the message her button and then Control V and then Control W to close the window and then click the message her button, click in the box, Control V, Control W, send message, Control V, Control W, send message, Control V, Control W. And I would literally do this like sometimes for hours at a time. I know that sounds kind of sad, but again, science, right? So it was crazy because as I was actually doing this, I could literally feel carpal tunnel syndrome happening. I could feel it happening. I'm not even kidding. So I decided to get a little crafty, and this is where the automation comes in. What I did, I downloaded a simple macro scripting program online, and the one that I personally use is called Quick Macros, and I think it was like $10. Although I'm sure that you can find a similar program for free as shareware somewhere. On the Mac, I use something called Keyboard Maestro, and I just took a little time out of my day, and what I did was I created several scripts that are going to automatically send messages out to all the users that I've opened up in my little tabs across the top. So how do we do it? Well, it's pretty simple, although it might take you a little bit of tweaking to get it to work exactly right. So let me show you how. Now, first things first, I employ a program for this called Quick Macros, and I got this somewhere online, and I believe it was like $10. However, if you're a cheap ass, I'm sure there's plenty of freeware out there that will accomplish exactly the same thing. So the very first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create our first message that we're going to send out. Now, all of these programs are essentially the same. They have the same functionality, but the most important thing is that you want to replicate the same steps. It's very simple. There are 6 main steps that you actually want this program to execute for you. So let's see what it would actually take to message message a girl. So as you can see up top here, I've got all like 50 fucking tabs loaded up across the top. So let's go to our first candidate here. And so to send this girl a message, what would I actually have to do? What are the actual steps that we need to have this program do for us? Well, first off, I'd have to hit send a message. Okay, so I'd have to left click here, boom. That's going to then bring up the dialog box. Then I click in there, and then I will type out my message. Oh, hi there. I feel you appear attractive and consequently, would like to explore the possibility of enhancing your life by means of exposure to my awesomeness. K, thanks. Bye. J. Now, just typing all that, even if I was actually a good typist, that would still take an inordinate amount of time, especially given the volume that we're working. Okay, but then again, so that's one step. So click here, type it in, then click send. Okay, great. Then hit W and then start on the next girl and repeat. Well, obviously, I don't want to do this. I'm going to get fucking carpal tunnel doing this, literally. So basically, we're going to replicate this entire process in the macro program. So let's go ahead and do that. So first thing that I'm going to want to do, I'm going to create a new macro. And so I'm just going to Control N. I'm going to title this first message. Okay, bang. So the first thing I want to do is I want to do that mouse click. And again, all these programs are the same, but what you want to do is make a left mouse click on that specific box. So I'm just going to hit this here, mouse, bang, okay? And now it's going to give me all the options. I'm going to make sure that it's on left click, okay? And I'm going to drag it to where I want to click on the screen. Not on the window, not on the control, on the screen itself. If you do the window, then it's going to try to like have it go to the specific URL every time. So make sure it's on screen. So I'm going to hit drag, and then I'm going to drag it right there. Bang. Okay, look, everything looks good. It's on these coordinates, 1236 by 177. And I'm going to hit OK. Now, by the way, when you do this, it's important to make sure that your browser is at a standardized size, because if you change the size of the browser, it's going to change this information. It's going to change the coordinate information. So on Chrome, at least, I know changing it is Control plus and minus. So I'll hit Control plus. Okay, that's 110%. So it's on 100%. So I'm gonna create these macros set to a 100% browser size. Okay, so again, it's standardized. So left click there, and as you see, that's the command right there. And of course, what's that gonna do? It's gonna open up that dialog box. Now, it might take, especially if there's like a slow connection or the data's just not coming through quickly, you might have a bit of a delay. And so if you haven't immediately just type in that text, a lot of times it'll screw up the process. So I'm gonna program a wait, okay? I'm gonna wait, and I think half a second should do. Okay, 0.5, bang. Okay, then I'm going to, so what that's gonna do, that box will be open. So now I'm going to enter the text, okay? So I'm gonna hit that text, I'm gonna type it on in. Oh, hi there. I feel you appear attractive and consequently would like. I'm usually a much better typer than this. Ability. Okay, so bam, there's our text. And it is going to, I'm just going to hit OK that. Oh, sending misspelled messages here. I think I have like performance anxiety because of the camera. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, after that, we're going to want it to click send. So let's try this again, bam. So, oh, hi there, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so let's just actually enter that in. Boom. Okay, thanks, bye. What is this? Okay, so then we have to hit this button. So now what I'm going to do, same thing, call up another mouse, boom, make sure it's on screen, hold on drag, make sure you hit it on right on that button, bingo, left click, go, good, 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 okay, bang, okay. Now I'm going to like give it another half a second for that message to actually go out. So I'm going to wait another half a second. Okay, I'm going to instruct it to do that. And then finally, I'm going to have it close the window by hitting Control W. Okay, program a keystroke there. So boom. So what we got here, again, it's very important. No matter what program you use, the main thing is that you have these 6 steps executed. So again, first, left click on the sender a message, instruct it to wait half a second, key in your text, your first message. Number 4, left click on the send button. Number 5, wait a half a second, and finally step number 6, key in Control W to close the window. Okay, so then you'll have a fresh. And now you can just hit, so I want to assign obviously a key to this. So in this, I'm going to hit Control P and I'm going to assign the properties. Okay, edit, file. Where is that? Properties. Okay, here we are, item properties. So now what's going to trigger this? This is basically what we want to have it triggered with the keyboard. Okay, and the hotkey for this is going to be Control tilde. Okay, you could do Control 1, however that does something in Photoshop, so I don't want to mess with that functionality of the keys. So, but for my first message, I do Control tilde, or a backwards apostrophe, I guess you call it. And okay, so that's good to go. So let's try it out now. So now, as opposed to doing all that, now I just hit Control tilde, and it's going to do it like this. Bang, boom, boom. Okay, let's try it again. Boom. Again. Boom. So, nice, 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 nice. Now, again, main thing, you want to repeat these 6 commands. Left click on send, wait a half a second, key in your text, left key on to actually send the message on that button, wait half a second, and then close the window. Now, here's the thing. What you can do now is you can get even crazy. I might have this wait another half a second. And because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this entire sequence, okay? And I am going to simply copy paste it in this window. Bang, 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 bang. Okay, so now I have it programmed to do it 10 times. All right, so let's actually hit it now, and we'll fire off 10 at a time. Check it out. That's amazing. So again, you can just hit this, set it to fire off 10 at a time, and just walk away from it. Now you can easily send out hundreds and hundreds of messages where it would have taken you, an hour to do that. Now you can literally do it in like 5 minutes. So this is saving so much time, and it's going to save you a lot of time as well. Now, I would typically not recommend to do more than, say, 10 at a time like this, because once you get them firing off like that, sometimes it'll like mess up for whatever reason. Like one example would be if the girl has A-list and her message box is full. Well, if you have A-list as well, you can message her too. So, but what'll happen is it'll come up and the message will be the dialog box will be a different size. So you have to program a variant in your quick macros, and I would make another one, and I would basically do this. Oops. I just copy exactly that. I create a new macro, okay, and I'll call this A-list variant, okay? And so then what I would do is I'd have this, except, and it's going to be exactly the same, except I'm going to change this mouse click here to reflect the position of the A-list variant box send button, okay? So I'd have that. But again, it's going to save you a lot of time. And what I'd probably do with this, I'd, of course, assign a different key to it. This variant, I'd hit Control Alt tilde, most likely. But some other variants that I do are as follows. I'm also going to have a high match percentage variant. And what I would do with that, I'd have the exact same thing. And instead, I'm going to say, it's going to be a different first message. If she matches me over 90%, I say this instead. I say, anyone who matches me as highly as you do usually turns out to be crazy as shit. Yes, I know what that says about me. Regardless, I feel you appear attractive, da 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 da. Okay, and so I'm going to assign a property, and for this, my property is simply going to be Control Shift tilde. So that's my variant if she matches me over 90%. Furthermore, I have a couple other ones that I'm going to do. I'm going to do my second message, okay? So I'm going to create another one, second message. And this is going to be very simple. Since I don't need to be blasting these second messages out, I'm simply just going to have it be a keyboard shortcut, just a simple macro. And, it's going to say this. Perhaps I may be so bold as to inquire as to whether you would like to accompany me on a romantic date featuring magic in the mist. Okay, so again, so what I would do then, she replies, I'm gonna riff off whatever she says, and then I would hit Control 2 to blast this message bringing up the prospect of the date. So that's very simple, and I'm just gonna assign properties to it, and it's gonna be triggered by the keyboard, and the hotkey is gonna be Control 2. Okay, boom. And of course, then I'm gonna do this for the third message too, okay? We'll call this third, we'll just call this number message. Okay, and again, just gonna key it in. It's gonna say, below, please find my personal telephone number for romance arrangement purposes. And then I hit, 415, blah, 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 blah. Right, really. Bam. Okay, so that's pasted in now. Good job. Got that. And then, again, assign the key to that. And that's going to be keyboard. It's going to be triggered by Control 3. Okay. And so that's good. And then finally, I'm also going to have one more. And this is, of course, going to be my the message that I sent to try to rekindle fizzled out leads. So this one is going to be called Growing Apart. Okay, and then again, it's just a simple thing, and it's going to say, I feel like we're growing apart. Okay, and then so again, I'm going to assign the key to that, and it's going to be triggered by Control 4. And I'm even going to go further, and I'm going to, sometimes I have another variant, like if I tried to hit her with that one, and that one didn't work, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit her like, and I really, really, really liked the girl. What I'm going to, like, for example, I really think she's hot. I really want to fuck her. I will do the kind of Hail Mary, and that's going to say, really growing. Okay, and then I'm just going to key in, okay, now I really feel like we're growing apart. Okay, and then I'll shoot that, and that's the Hail Mary. If she doesn't respond to that at all, then I know it's dead. So of course for that, we're gonna assign the property, and the property is gonna be keyboard hotkey trigger Control Shift 4. Okay, boom. So there you go. I mean, that's pretty much all you really need to know to completely automate your macros, to completely automate your messaging. And it's interesting because, any dumb you don't need this specific quick macros program, and it's, again, really bare bones. Any dumb program is going to be able to replicate these commands, and again, it's going to save you a massive amount of time. With time being the only commodity we have in the game, and volume being absolutely imperative, this is a key component. Okay, we got the systemization, and now this is the automation that makes that volume possible. The power is yours now. Use it wisely. Now with Tinder, obviously that's going to be on your phone, but we can still add another layer of automation to that as well. Like my Uncle Morty always said, every penny counts. In this case, the penny's your time. Every second counts when you're working volume. Now, I don't actually have an Uncle Morty, but if I did, I'm sure he'd be really cool and he'd also say that. So, yeah. So rather than use copy-paste from like a notes file in your phone, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and create a keyboard shortcut. And this is for iPhone, but I'm sure that other phones have a similar functionality. So check it out. So creating a keyboard shortcut on the iPhone is extremely simple. You just go into the settings menu, and then from there, you go to General, and there to Keyboard, and then to Shortcuts. And you can see I got all my shortcuts here. Below my personal telephone number, blah, blah, blah. I'm at the gym, feel like we're growing apart, so on and so forth. Very, very easy for you to just create these so you can automate it, the messaging on your phone as well. So there you have it. You've just sent out a blast of like 50, 100 messages. Your seeds have been sent off into the ether, and now it's time to sit back and wait for the universe to reply.